Have you ever been in a room where the game begins and the atmosphere ignites, yet something inside you stays still? While millions schedule their weekends around kickoffs, paint their faces, scream at screens, and live vicariously through goals and trophies, others watch the same spectacle and feel nothing. Not because they are cold or rebellious, but because, as psychology reveals, their emotional architecture is oriented toward a different kind of participation. They aren't missing something, they're tuned in to something else entirely. Let's start with tribal attraction. Sports fandom is modern ritualized tribalism. Our colors versus theirs, our city against theirs. Throughout history, belonging meant survival and exclusion meant threat. Today, the stadium replaces the fire circle, the goal replaces the hunt. When a team wins, the brain releases testosterone and dopamine as if the fan personally triumphed. Yet for non-fans, that tribal transmitter doesn't lock. Loyalty based on geography, inherited allegiance, or arbitrary borders feels structurally meaningless. Their brain simply says, "This isn't my tribe." Then there is cognitive bandwidth. True fandom is not passive. It's a lifestyle, requiring memory, curiosity, emotional investment, and identity maintenance. You need to know rosters, rivalries, history, strategies, records, and narratives. Psychology observes that those who don't engage simply allocated that mental space elsewhere. Art, philosophy, markets, invention, spirituality, introspection. Their passion is already occupied. They are not incapable of caring, they simply care elsewhere. Now consider mirror neurons, the brain cells that activate when you watch someone perform an action as if you were doing it. This is why fans jump, gasp, and feel adrenaline when watching sports. But mirror neurons only fire when there is identification. Non-fans feel the same neurological surge, just for different athletes. Musicians at their peak, thinkers solving problems, creators building worlds. They do not lack emotional capacity, they have redirected it. Now consider narrative appetite. Sports offer ready-made story arcs. Heroes, villains, stakes, drama. Some love consuming narrative. But psychology notes that non-fans often prefer authorship over spectatorship. They lose themselves in their own storylines. They don't want drama delivered, they want to generate it. Instead of investing in seasons written by others, they invest in seasons of their own growth. However, there is a social cost. Sports are an instant handshake, a universal entry to conversation. Offices, bars, family tables, and parties all lean on this shared language. Non-fans experience micro-exclusion. They learn to nod, redirect, or simply accept selective invisibility. Yet this produces depth. Without surface-level topics to hide behind, they learn to connect through ideas, values, inner worlds, sensitivities, and meaning. Their conversations often skip small talk and reach core identity faster. Think about escape. Sports are a socially acceptable meditation. For millions, 3 hours erase worry and dissolve reality. But non-fans found other sanctuaries: workshops, studios, books, code, music, silence. Their escape is immersive too, but productive. While some watch others perform privately. It is not absence, it is orientation. Let's go deeper. Emotional autonomy. Non-fans don't outsource their emotional ignition. They self-generate stimulation through mastery, curiosity, creation, or challenge. Their nervous system doesn't rely on external spectacle. They don't need a scoreboard to feel alive. They build their intensity from the inside. This reveals a personality wired toward agency rather than affiliation. Then comes identity ownership. Fans temporarily borrow meaning through team victories. My team wins, therefore I win. But non-fans seek identity that isn't borrowed but constructed. Their victories are personal, not proxy. They don't want triumph by association, they want triumph by authorship. Their lives are not seasons they follow, but seasons they write. Yet psychology highlights one more component: perceptual independence. People who don't attach to mass identity experiences often possess higher resistance to social contagion. Their emotional leash is shorter. They don't absorb hype the way others do. Large collective energy doesn't automatically sway them. They evaluate before they engage. Their attention must earn its place. Another layer is sensory preference. Some people genuinely find stadiums, noise, social rituals, and crowd behavior overstimulating or energetically draining. Their internal world is rich, and loud environments flatten their depth. They are not withdrawing from joy, they are protecting coherence. Stillness for them is not boredom, it's preservation. There is also meaning orientation. Non-fans tend to pursue belonging through shared creation, shared thought, shared growth, not shared colors. They crave communities that evolve, not ones that reset with every season. They connect through identity, not allegiance. For them, belonging must be lived, not performed. So what does all this mean? People who don't care about sports are not emotionally deficient. They are emotionally directed. They are not disconnected. They are differently connected. Their silence during the match is not absence, it's investment elsewhere. While the stadium cheers for someone else's story, they are busy shaping their own. Now tell me in the comments, when the world erupts over a game you don't care about, where does your passion go instead? What field are you playing on that no scoreboard can measure? But here's a deeper twist. Many people who don't care about sports aren't apathetic at all. They simply reserve intensity for arenas where they can influence outcomes. Psychology calls this agency-based identity, the need for meaning connected to action. While millions chant for teams they cannot touch, non-fans funnel emotional fuel into spaces where their effort matters. Building a skill, solving problems, nurturing relationships, or creating something real. Their thrill isn't watching a ball cross a line, it's watching their own capacity evolve. This is why their absence in stadium noise is not a deficit. It is a rerouting of energy toward transformation. Another fascinating dimension is what researchers refer to as cognitive sovereignty, the refusal to outsource attention. Non-fans tend to be internally motivated thinkers, people who question collective excitement before joining it. Their minds ask, is this worth my energy? The fact that their enthusiasm doesn't ignite where the crowd's does tells us something powerful about individuality. These are people whose emotional landscape cannot be dictated by majority behavior. They belong to a psychological minority that chooses meaning over momentum, intention over impulse, authorship over entertainment. And whether they know it or not, that makes them strangely resilient. So maybe the real narrative isn't that they don't care, it's that they care differently. They cheer for invisible victories, breakthroughs in thinking, personal milestones, finished projects, restored peace, built identities. Their team is the version of themselves they are becoming. Their stadium is the inner world where they train, compete, fail, rise, and evolve. And their wins don't come with fireworks. They come with self-respect. So now I'll ask you again. When the stadium roars for goals you don't feel, what private triumphs are you celebrating instead? Comment below. I want to hear which unseen arena you fight in and what kind of champion you are becoming where no crowd is watching.